project also now site in Oboji, but yeah, pharmaceutical, industrial, whatever. In Oboji, a beautiful name. So I'm say Nyafa, I'm say Abafa, Boulevard, Boulevard on Adoda. These are the things. Is either he use Boulevard or replace it with Solution. These are the things that tickles his fancy. So if you want to get him buy into your project or anything, design anything and name it Boulevard or name it Solution if we are on the excited. But the question is, are these projects sustainable? Is it an indicator of sustainable development that we should be interested in or should be prioritized? There's nothing wrong with building government house. Don't get me wrong. But if you scrutinize these government house projects, especially in Osnolo, Makachi, Obuna etinye na to test keta na question mark the mother eba now. So bad. One of them is that, and where the deputy governor's office or lodge or whatever in that building, that place, go and verify, go and find out. I don't want to answer that question. Then let's go to something else. Because all these branded projects only put, I find it very interesting that Soludo is interested in putting out projects that put up his name. He likes it. Any single project that does not glorify him, that doesn't give him that visibility, is not approved. He's not interested in it. So some will point out the flyover in a club. Man, a flyover was single, and I remember vividly when he came on Twitter space, and I told him, or I asked him the question that, look, I made a suggestion that that's a club, the flyover should be double lane. If you go to Ebonyi State, they have over 20 flyovers across the state, and majority of these flyovers are double lane. Double lane, very strong and solid, constructed by Omahe. Even the current governor now is also throwing the same lane everywhere, flyover. And when flyover nke dị na I think Amasiri, then when nke dị na nke gabara Okposi to Obomege, there are so many of them even within the rural areas. You got to go flyover, now flyover. Ije na obodo Umahi, almost close to opposite the Umahi University Teaching Hospital in Kolon na Uburu. Aruru double lane flyover ebe ahụ. Traffic in ebe ị ga-anọ ebe a lalụ ụlọ chefu. Traffic in some of these places are not that much, but aruru are double lane. And Ebonyi State enwere the kind of resources Anambra nwe. Even Jinekwu ife ahụ maka ndị na-awụ feje ebe a na-eme content. Aruru I flyover. Ije na Ebonyi ọ ka nkụ. So it is nothing. And double lane. Or double lane from Afikpo to Amasiri. Royal from Uburu to Okposi. If our rural community, so very rural, and ima how big Ebonyi State is compared to Anambra. And the age where they are cement reinforcement. Double lane road. So our standard are very, very low. Even our standard is very low. Look, I don't have problem with some of these things per se, but the problem I have is that I need us to know that there is lack of sincerity, of purpose in Soludo's administration. It is very clear that he doesn't have long-term plan for us, the Anambra. His plans are very, very short-term, centered around him to give him that egoistic feel. You got to go. Something I point out, but it's not in the interest of Anambra State to make it livable in our hogwash, to make it 21st century city driven hogwash, to make it a Dubai Taiwan bull crap. There's nothing on ground that shows and the shake and the name market, just small markets after him. Mandoro's kiosk, small market kiosk along Kedifana, Abakaliki Street. Boya Solution. Kiosk. Sheikh of Dubai, Emilia. Ogona Ru Dubai. That is how you know the person develops sincerity of purpose. You have to, so if you really look at what he's doing, you will see it is about visibility, something that makes him his name to be loud. Um, it's not really lasting solution that sustains development. It is about putting his name there. So let's look at the economic region or geo-economic regions within Anambra State. By the virtue of the fact that I'm a member of SEBIS, where we discuss economic activities in the Southeast, most of my political decision henceforth has always centered about economy driven. It has always been economic driven, how it affects economy, because economy is the bedrock of everything. If you don't have your economy sorted out, any political decision you are making that does not have the economic undertone is a bad decision, no matter how exciting it sounds. And that's what I want our people to begin to learn. We have to jettison every form of whatever. The matrix, number one matrix has to be economy. If it doesn't meet it, ignore it. Because if you don't have your economy right, your people are going to be poor. And when your people are poor, their morality will be reduced. And so their moral, whatever standard you're holding on to, it's bullshit when your economy is very bad. If you have a very terrible economy, your people are going to degenerate into so many things, including crimes, including communal crisis, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of problems that emanate with a poor economy. So you need your economy to be driven at that optimal level. So we have like strategic economic axis within Anambra State. So we have Onitsha, for example. It is known for trade, manufacturing, and commerce. So let's look at what Soludo is doing there. And before you look at what Soludo is doing, you ask yourself, what are the challenges that Onitsha people are facing? Now we have security issue in Onitsha. The touts, especially within certain zones like Opiweka and, well, those flashpoints. And Soludo came in and promised to eradicate these elements and clear those places. We have clear roadmap to achieve this. He have rocket science. He can dismantle touts, their network in Opiweka, especially there is a known hideout along that Owerri Road. Everybody knows this place. They know this place. Once you turn to your right when you're coming down from Saba towards Owerri Road, and well, one place there, but that axis now lead to Owerri Road. Soludo can dismantle that place and convert the place into huge business park. He can do that, right? He can build a modern trade center, that really reflects on its business legacy as a commercial city in Nigeria and West Africa. He can actually develop or even upgrade the existing business parks. I'm business parks, right? He can even operationalize the stock exchange. That is already P2B. He has abandoned all these things. They are not functioning optimally. Nothing is going on there. Churches are taking over some of those buildings. He can make it operational again. He can expand existing harbor industrial park in capital people. He doesn't need to go and build another existing solution industrial park that is on paper. Let him expand the one that is already existing and make it better. He can support the ongoing power plants and gas reticulation that is going by, taking it across this industrial harbor, expand the industrial harbor within, Onitsha metropolis. And this is just Onitsha alone. He can help construct modern storage facility. We don't have any storage
Sorry,
facility.
Anambra Professor. The thing is that Ogun and Soludo were foresight. Okay, Bupu, Emani Luton head bridge, like before head bridge, industrial harbor on by the right? Okali extend the whole
Yes,
of that place of Bani River Niger. You see along
yes.
that River Niger. Anyway,
Mm.
just go ahead. I was
Are you still
no,
speaking?
I was saying go ahead. I will comment on it when you're done. Go ahead.
Okay. So yes, I mean, you are looking at it right now. You see what he could have done, and he's not doing all those things. And he's building full solution fund city, which is not entirely a terrible idea. But if you ask me, I would say this is something that will generate more income and revenue or interest into Anambra State. Solutions Fund City could come from private individuals. It doesn't necessarily have to be a project of the government, championing by the government or taken as government project. It could be a private sector. It could be somebody who is interested in a creative space or entertainment that could just come in and build this. Any of these music artists, our top music artists, can get somebody that will build this on their behalf. You have something like Flavor in recreational city or recreational city, stuff like that. You can have something like that. If you have Soludo partnering with Flavor or Fino, you get an investor who can put in money to build that kind of thing. It will be there, and you focus on the real issue. So going back to what I'm saying, expanding that industrial hub. Once you come into Onitsha by the right side of the city, coming down from Asaba, you see that the entire space by the right, and where you know any reasonable, apart from the markets, the headbridge markets, and where much reasonable, where business park around that place. Where something that reflects that you are entering into a city, trade city. Making the entire belt from down there to all the way to Atani, all the way to Obaru, along that river bank, making it very viable for investors to come in to build, expand that industrial hub. It will be beautiful. It's something that is doable, right? So there is also the need for power because the entire axis anywhere has a generator. Most of them generate their own power. Ebaka, Submilan, Ebaka, or the Dozy company. And we have gas in Anambra Imo Basin, which is close by. And we have Seplat developing something. So the question is, has Anambra State done anything to activate reticulation of gas pipeline, that will feed the industrial hub within Onitsha? I don't think so. I don't know any of it. Has the Anambra State government, because this mustn't be centered on Soludo, are they interested in building things like that can help the industries within that axis? I don't think so. So these are the things he could have done. Then another thing is that, like I mentioned warehouse and modern day storage facility. I am with all those things, and that's why Ibiana South is right now. There is this exodus of goods, agricultural products moving all the way from these belts all the way to the south to feed the industries in the south and the west. Cross River, Benue, Taraba, Southern Cameroon, Ebonyi, Enugu, the entire belt, the entire cluster is a rich, what you call, agricultural belt, right? And all the produce are netted from there. Kebe fanaga, kedife GM, if I be fi gana jomai. And these are the things when we look at it, we see where it is flowing to. We see how we are refusing to trap all these activities. You can use it for processing, adding values to some of the produce that are being extracted from this part of the country and convert them to finished goods, then export. In 2017, somebody reached out to me when I was farming and said that he needed yellow pepper, that he wants to buy yellow pepper. So I was curious. I was asking him what is he using it. I've said this in several places. Owegwam that name with a high demand of this pepper, na Asian country. Na man the place I taken when you pepper on the southeast. So now how I would the biggest off takers. So habia faburu nyabu ife a process 80%, then 20% oil to preserve it, then put it in the bottle or something, then sell it to Chinese or to Asian countries need. And that is a very big market. They are selling it as high as $150 of stock. So when I heard that, I was just asking, 2017 Kifane. So I was asking myself, Kifane, what exactly are we doing? And where any processing factory on a Southeast name where that kind of initiative, when you brief an agent elsewhere in Ogun State. Now we have governors that are supposed to be thinking, and when they find it. So there is in Onitsha, we also have issue of environmental problem. There's no clear modern environmental laws or policy in place. Instead, what we have is talks. We have talks, and that's why last year, some of you witnessed or heard where a very prominent Anambra, who happens to be even former president of Onitsha Business Chamber of Commerce, was beaten up to. I don't know the current state of his health right now, but the last time I heard he was in a critical condition in Enugu State Hospital, thanks to the fact that he was beaten up by these thugs, and they deployed to go and do taxation, tax force, all this code and whatever nonsense they call them. Or if we fair enough, there's no modern clear cuts to on how to generate revenue or how to enforce some of these things in a city like Onitsha, governed by somebody as educated as Professor Charles Soludo, former CBM governor, an international whatever he has done and achieved at the international level, consulting for the world global businesses. Yet he still deploys talks to operate in Onitsha. It doesn't make sense. So another thing is that there is no incentive. There is no incentive whatever to drive sustainable environment in Onitsha or anything like that. Then another thing again is driving of trade promotion and city branding. This is something Soludo can do. But what is the brand of Onitsha? What is the brand of Onitsha? Who is driving trade? Who is promoting trade of Onitsha? Who is doing that? How many products do we have from Onitsha? How much are they being promoted? Because Soludo should be the number one marketer of Anambra State. His government should be number one marketer of Anambra State. Do you know any product through Soludo? I can tell you many products that I knew from P2B. He mentions them everywhere. He mentioned them everywhere. He was intentional. He got near non mention no innocent. He got near non mention no Crisori. He got near non mention no Juhel pharmaceutical, and he was the one. He brought them into Anambra State, encouraged them to establish in Anambra State, and also drive their conversation. Every single time he talks about business operation, he mentions the name. Kedindi Soludo mentioned. Who is he promoting? So these are the things. They don't really matter for some political hacks. They don't matter to them. But I don't really have problem with these people because they don't know better. But these are the important things we are expecting from government. They are intangible, but they are very necessary. Then another thing is that our city is flowing towards Asaba. I don't have problem with it, but how about trapping the development towards Nsugbe, Omonia, Oba, Obaru, with a well-planned secondary roads leading to this place, secondary roads that will lead to these places. Our people, Diego, we can easily build estates. We have estates springing up, but Soludo, does he have any vision on expanding Onitsha metropolis towards these places and Nkulu? Because Irurana strategic secondary road, be it double or single lane, but let it be very strategic towards Nsugbe, towards Umonia, towards Oba, towards Obaru. I'm not talking about federal roads now, right? That is already existing. A full again influx of population, because people no longer on it go somehow saturated. So we need expansion, and that was what gave birth. If you notice what Peter did, during his tenure, he expanded American quarters. He had expansion towards 3-3, expansion towards Abaka Forest, and so on and so forth. And we're able to have new settlers, new landlords, new owners of homes coming down there instead of relocating or going elsewhere. So we can also have that towards Omonia, towards Oba, towards Oba. We can have that. But we are not seeing it. Then let's live on it. I just want it. I can't go alone. Let's live on it. I go to Newi, a manufacturing and industrial backbone of Anambra State. We have many private individuals who are doing manufacturing in Newi. Many of them, but they are doing very well. A lot of people know us thanks to Peter. We have stickers in there. We have Ngo Bros. We have a lot of them. So why can't Anambra State set up trade promotional agency that focus on scaling these, local businesses in Nnewi? Continue and expand roads that which he's doing. I must commend him for doing that. He's expanding the road that leads into Nnewi to Okija. It's a very good, commendable project. Let's not talk about the quality. We will talk about it later. But this is something that Soludo should be doing. You got to go. Yeah, bro, rocket science. There is a power project that's already in pipeline, Century Power Plant. Google it. Project in that axis. Why is Soludo not interested in revitalizing this? What are the reasons why they are not operating? What are the reasons why they are not continuing with that project? Who is interested in building more power projects in Anambra State? Can we have them site this power project around this axis? These are the key growth indicators and enablers. So, like I mentioned, the gas infrastructure towards on its industrial hub, but we can also have it towards Navy or Zobolo, Equisigo axis. We can have that. This is a very important, and they have flat arable land. It's a very important place for industrialization. They are very close to Onitsha. They're also close to Owerri. So it's strategic. So what is he's doing towards this? Nothing. Apart from that road, then when he was on for then let's go to Oka, where I live. We have three key things that Oka can serve Anambra State. Number one is education. Number two is hospitality. Then number three, services. These key three things are things Oka can do very well. You have solution ICT center, very fine, good, great project and initiative. But I have concerns the way it's been operated. And somebody raised that during the SME Fest. I was opportunity to be in their panel 2 days ago. Somebody raised that important question. It shouldn't be a government responsibility to operate. Government should just build infrastructure, enabling environment, and voila. So you need a data center and ensure strong, reliable internet connectivity around this city. They claim they are building fiber optics cable and all of that. I want to believe it is actually going to be good. I want to be very optimistic about it. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's good that they're building it. Ifite, everybody that knows Ifite knows that it is predominantly young people, students. Yet, in 2025, Ifite network is terrible. It's like you are in a village. If you are talking about modern driven economy, whatever modern thing, whatever AI thing, if it should be your flashpoint. If you want to build or do anything that has to do with modern, has to do with internet age, the first place you run it is in Ifite, because that's where you have large population of young people. And if it doesn't work there, you can't deploy it in Onitsha. It will not work in Onitsha. So Ifite is very key. So how can we make Ifite work or Oka work? You need to attract more institutions, higher institutions into these places. Tech startups, right? Service firms in Oka, we need them. We need them in Oka. Then leverage the large youth population we have there. Build sports facility. Now, I want to talk about security in Oka. Security in Oka is very key. And anytime we talk about this thing, people try to downplay it. There are two strategic things Solution or Soludo should be doing in Oka. Number one, what you call kinetic approach or non-kinetic approach towards this. And all of these things are interconnected. The non-kinetic is, number one, if you take, for example, needs sports facilities, at least 4 different sports facilities. And these sports facilities will include all manner of sporting activities, not just football. It could be indoor games and outdoor games. We also need cultural centers, event centers that will enable nightlife in organized way. We need all this.